Is the fat in our food making us fatter? This is a question that is being asked already for many years. And actually, one of the things that has been making me think a lot about fat and not just sugar lately is when I was in Bristol at the first international conference for food addiction. Right after that was a conference of a beautiful charity organization called the Public Health Collaborative in England. And there was a speaker there named Dr. Chris Kenobi who said, yes, there are fats in our food that are making us fatter, and they're getting us sicker and fatter even than the sugar. And he was talking about the polyunsaturated seed oils. His claim was that these oils, which are very rich in omega-6 and poor in omega-3, and they are very highly processed, are actually promoting inflammation and conditions like obesity and diabetes and heart disease and all these chronic diseases of our modern diet and our modern civilization, that these polyunsaturated fatty acids, like these seed oils, like canola, soy, cottonseed oil, corn oil, that all these oils are actually promoting these chronic metabolic diseases like obesity and diabetes and heart disease more even than the sugar. And he showed how the correlation to the presence of these seed oils in our food supply is actually even a better correlation than the sugar consumption, which has actually been going down in the last few years, and still these chronic diseases are going up. And that really made me think a lot about, because, I am definitely in that camp that blames sugar, too much sugar, excess sugar, added sugar in our diet to many, many of the problems that we are having, the health problems, the major health problems that we are having today, like obesity and diabetes. And I firmly believe that it is definitely a major cause of these diseases. But then I was asking myself, so wait a minute, if he says that the correlation to these seed oils is even more, and actually, I definitely am also in the camp that believes we do not need to be afraid of saturated fats. What's important is that these fats are natural, but it really brought home to me that I think that, if they're, and also, I am constantly educating myself when it comes to nutrition and these metabolic diseases. And I'm learning more and more now about diabetes and, the diabetes, especially type 2 and pre-diabetes, the conditions that are leading up to diabetes, because pre-diabetes, for example, is really a condition where it's not too late yet. It can actually be reversed very easily. So Chris Kenobi's lecture really made me think, and then I heard him, by the way, again at a low-carb conference here in Israel. So it made me think a lot about the fact that I think that if there is one major cause which is making our food toxic instead of healing, it is what is called hyper-processing. It's the sugar. It's the seed oils. It is also these so-called natural flavorings and colorings and emulsifiers. It's all of it. It's really all of it. I really do believe it's like Robert Lustig says, it's not just what we are putting in the food, it's what is being done to the food that we are eating. So the more you mess with the food, the more that food messes with your body. And the more that you eat natural, real food that is as close to its natural state as possible, then it's not the fat, and then it's not the natural sugar that is in a food or the natural carbohydrates that are in a food. It is not a matter of, then first of all, you really, if you eat only real food, it is really difficult to become obese. Maybe some people will be overweight because they'll eat too much, but it's really difficult to become like morbidly obese from eating only real food. It is the processing, and it is all those things together. It is, the added and unnatural, the added sugars, these seed oils that are being made in an unnatural way, these emulsifiers that are giving these very tasty and wonderful feeling mouth feel, but is not real food. So this is my message to you. I wonder sometimes if it really, really matters if the main cause is the sugar, if the main cause is the polyunsaturated fatty acids, if the main cause the emulsifiers, is the main cause. It's all of it, people. It's all of it. It's the processing of the foods that is making it so problematic. So let's eat food that heals. Let's eat food that is actually the most effective, cheapest, least side effects medication that you can take for these chronic diseases is to just eat real food and stay away from the processed foods. Now, first of all, I'd love to know what you think about that. Don't be afraid of saturated fat. Be afraid of processed fats, whether they're saturated or not. What about sugar? If it's naturally incorporated in a food, that's not the harmful, even though some people are like super sensitive, maybe will want to limit that. But that's not what's making sugar dangerous. It's those added sugars, be them natural sugars, processed sugars, unprocessed sugars. As soon as they're unnaturally added to the food, they're making us sick. These emulsifiers, these flavorings that don't exist in nature, and then it makes us, our brain sends us these untrue messages and gets confused. It's all of it. It's all of it all together. So really, really, my message for you today is, people, I don't know if it really matters that much which is the main cause. If you eat real food that God and Mother Nature intended us to eat, then you are on the right track. And if you would like to really, if you feel like these processed, hyper-processed, whether they're with sweets or polyunsaturated fats and, these real junk foods, you want to stop eating them and you just can't. It seems like, then maybe it's time to do a detox. And if you're thinking of doing a detox, but you just don't know where to start, you can download my Sugar Detox Starter Kit for a very special price now, because it's still in its early bird launch phase. And the link is going to be somewhere around here in the description or the comments of this video. Look for it. And I will see you next week on Sippy Live, Mondays at 7 p.m. Israel time. And please, if you think this video is important, like, share it, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye-bye.